This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
If you kind of look deeper at the situation, you know, which I'm sure you will, because everything that we go through is an experience that we learn from.
And Justin Burke.
I come right in. I'm very sneaky about it. You'll be talking to someone, and I'll just come in and sit at my desk and just bust one out real quick.
Yes, it is the 29th of January, 2024. My name is Corey Winfield, joined by Justin Burke.
Fabulous.
Yes, it's the 217 Recovery Podcast. Coming from the North Studio today, where us Michiganders, that's what they call us,
Right.
we're a little heartbroken because the Detroit Lions kind of choked it last night and they lost. But you know what? I think for the most part, people are in a pretty good mood. Adam was a little beside himself,
Right.
but he didn't come to our party, so we didn't really care about Adam and his feelings. We're like, good, kind of glad that hurt you, bro.
Right.
No, but the party that we had last night was fun. We had pizza. There was a hot wing eating competition.
Yep.
Like hot sauce, try it out, you know.
Yeah, the hot ones.
Did you take place?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't participate in this either. I wanted nothing to do with it. And there were some children here. Because, you know, a little recovery action. We had like 8, 9 pizzas and pop and cookies and all that stuff. And then Kim went out and she bought some wings.
Yep.
And then we had hot sauce from our friend Matt. He was here and he busted them all out and he was having a good time. He loves hot sauce. And there was a show where they eat a bunch of different hot sauces. And he bought like the kit from that show.
Yep.
And he was all excited. And he came in on Friday and showed us. And I was like, well, dude, we're having a Super Bowl or not Super Bowl. I got jokes, don't I, Lions fans? Oh, man, I got Super Bowl and Lions. They don't go together. But I said we were having a divisional playoff party. And he's like, I'll be there. I will eat all this stuff. And he did. So good for him for showing up. But the best part of it was these kids that were here.
Yeah.
And one of them was like, I don't know if he was sleeping or just acting like he was sleeping. I have no idea. His eyes were closed. Sure. He didn't want nothing to do with like adult stuff.
No.
And the other kid, he wanted to be an adult so bad. He's like, I want to eat hot stuff.
Right.
And I said, we got to make him sign a waiver, or the mom to sign a waiver. Like somebody's got to sign a waiver because this is not a good idea.
Exactly.
And they were like, no, he's tough. He's cool. He can do it. Okay. And the challenge is going on and we're hearing laughter. We're hearing crying. Mitch is like tearing up. Mitch's son is tearing up, but who knows for what reason that happens. But people were like being affected by this hot sauce. And as I'm walking down the hallway, this little kid comes out and this tear is just running down his face. Like he's crying and he's like, do you have any milk? I said, no. I just kept going. He was crying and I kind of felt bad for like just a second, but
I did. He went to go like burp and then he thought he was going to have to throw up. So he ran to the bathroom.
Got your ass.
Yeah.
Poor little guy.
I know. And I said it was probably really rude. He probably will remember me as the mean guy.
Yeah, probably.
Do you have any milk? And I just looked at him, not like he was unintelligent, but I just looked at him and just said, no. But see, I warned him though. I said, you don't want to do this, son.
Yeah.
You don't want to do this. No, I do. I'm a big kid. Yep. He's probably what, 8, 7, 8?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'm going to learn.
I bet he doesn't make that mistake twice.
No, I bet he doesn't. But Lions fans, there's always next year. It's Cub fans. Like that's what we would always say back in the day.
You know, I did read something all over. It was all over Facebook, though.
Oh, did you read my Facebook?
No.
Oh, you're reading something else.
Yeah, just through my story on my Facebook. A lot of people were complaining about them going on 4th down. But statistically, our kicker isn't very good.
Whoa.
At doing long range kicks.
It was only 48.
His probability of making that 48-yarder was less probable than them going on 4th down and getting it.
Yeah, the first time, all they had to do was catch the ball.
Right, and he dropped it.
Yeah. The next one, I don't know what the hell they were thinking on that one. That wasn't even close. Goff rolled out to nowhere and then threw it to nowhere. That was a horrible play.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that aside, though, they did have a good season, and I know there was a lot of people in recovery that were here last night having a good time because of the Lions. So the Lions gave us a chance to throw a community event, and we took advantage of that. So thank you, Lions. We appreciate you having a good year. Yeah. You know, only one team at the end of the year. Only one team is going to walk away happy.
Right.
You know, to be one of the last four. That's pretty badass.
And I'd say we came in third considering the point deficit in between both games.
Okay.
Like, we did better than the Ravens.
Yeah. So the
Even points-wise.
Ravens beat that ass earlier, though. But see, that's what I think they should really turn to, is to have a game. Because yesterday, it was fun watching football. Right. You had football early, you had football late, and it was good. I think they should do the same thing for the Super Bowl. Like, have whoever loses, so like the Ravens and the Lions play for the Winfield Cup. Or whatever, you know, like have them play for something else, because that way the Super Bowl kind of sucks in a way. You get one game, blah, commercials, and the games usually suck.
Yeah,
I mean, if you go back to the last 20 years, the games suck, and except for that Tom Brady comeback one, that was pretty damn awesome. He's the best quarterback ever. There you go, Tyrone Hatcher, who thinks Matthew Stafford is, but anyway, Tyrone. So to have a game before, to do it, you know, I don't know, call it something, but to have more football, one more time, because then you get two teams winning, something, you know, and like the Lions would have to take on the Ravens, which would be a good rematch. I'd rather see that than Kansas City and San Francisco.
Right. I got money on San Francisco.
Wow, you're gambling again.
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I thought you had other things to pay for. Oh.
I'd put my money on San Francisco.
Well, last time this happened, when these two teams played, Ryan Beckman was on the podcast, and he put his money on San Francisco.
Yeah.
Actually, no. He put his money on Kansas City. And I think Chris Goss put his money on San Francisco, even though there was no money involved. But Chris doesn't even bet. He doesn't even watch football. So he got conned into that by somebody. And he had to wear a special helmet that we made him. And you can go back to the 2020 episodes and listen to what Chris Goss had to do. It was quite comical. But Ryan had bet that Green Bay was going to beat San Francisco to make it to the Super Bowl. And he lost, and he had to like dye his hair like cheese colored, and he did. And he was supposed to do his facial hair, but then he shaved it off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rotten move.
Jerk. But he had to walk around with dumb hair for a while. So that was fun. But again, you can go back to our Fun and Recovery and listen to those episodes from 2020. And they're right on the app, 217 app, which is in the App Store and Google Play Store. So get that if you don't have it yet. But I want to get into some other stuff too besides the Lions. We're not going to just talk about the Lions losing.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's going to hurt people's feelings. But I do want to mention something before we move on, that I posted on Facebook as well today. And I was trying to be a leader, Justin.
Yeah?
Yep.
Now I gotta go look at this.
So I wrote, to lead by example. I'm going to work a full day today. I'm coming back to work after lunch. And I'm going to finish what I'm working on before I go home. Hashtag Detroit Lions. Because I think if they see that, they'll be like, you know what? We should do that next year. We should finish every game.
Yeah.
Not just going at halftime, not just leave for lunch and be like, all right, man, I'll be back later. And you come back and, you know, you got your fast food in your belly. You just want to take a nap and you don't really do anything the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. You had a really good, productive morning. And then you just, as Chris Goss would say, since we brought him up, I did anyway, they shit the bed. And I'm trying to lead by example. Like, that's what I'm going to do today. So hopefully they see that. And I do have to mention one more thing about the Lions that is very, very cool is, of course, last year they gave us, I think, 30 tickets to a game.
Yeah,
and we took people from the recovery houses. You went. It was fun. It was a good time. And we watched them. It was December 4th of 2022. and we watched them beat Jacksonville. It was great. It was fun. It was awesome. Well, this year they didn't release tickets to nonprofits. So I applied for Detroit Lions memorabilia. And
Nice.
yeah, they sent me an email last week. They're like, hey, congratulations. We picked your organization to receive some stuff. So here you go. And today in the mail, I get a autographed football
Yep.
from Detroit Lion player guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brock Wright. Leaves his name.
Old tight end.
Not old tight end, but
Yeah.
he's the other tight end. Yeah, it has like a letter of authenticity, which they signed, which is kind of weird. 2/17/24. Because I think I put on there, that's when we're going to have the event.
Okay.
So I think they put that on there, but that's pretty cool because we're obviously 2/17. So
That is really nice.
yeah, but the event is on the 29th, and I think we're going to auction it there somehow. But it's a really cool. It's white. It's got the Lions logo on it. It's a sweet looking football.
Right.
I might have to bid on it myself.
I don't think that would be appropriate.
Probably not.
I was thinking the same thing when we opened it up, and I was like, this is inappropriate.
But it looks awesome.
But I could have my girlfriend bet on it
Yeah.
because she is not affiliated with 217.
But what if I want it?
You're going to have to find a non affiliated member
Why?
because that'd just be wrong
To
on
bid
so
on
many levels.
the football?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
It's ethically wrong.
How?
How?
Yeah.
Because when you run a silent auction, you don't get to bet on the merchandise
You don't bet on it. You bid on it.
or bet on it.
Yeah, but you should be able to.
We're be allowed to buy raffle tickets for that so-called item.
Why?
I don't know, because I was always told it's ethically wrong.
I have just as good a chance.
I don't know, man.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah, you should.
I should. I don't know. You're not really good at looking things up on Google, clearly. This is Justin had an incident with Google today. We'll get into that another time. But I was talking about a medication I was on last week,
Yeah.
or maybe it was a couple weeks ago, Contrave. And I blamed Contrave for making me feel not good.
Right.
And it wasn't Contrave. It was the other one I was on. So I stopped taking that one because I was like, I'm not taking Contrave anymore. After I did the podcast, and the next day, I don't take the Contrave and I take the other one, and I still feel the same way. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I felt bad, and I'm like, oh no. Hopefully I didn't turn people off to whatever, Because again, and I clearly said I'm not a doctor. I'm just a dude who's on some stuff, trying to get my weight down, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, oops, wrong one. I was so pissed too because I thought, man, I'm tired of feeling like crap. And then I started feeling like crap, and I'm like, oh no. Like, I
Did
don't.
you try eating anything like when you took the medication?
Yeah. It just makes you feel crap. I don't know. It just makes me feel like crap. I don't like it. Yeah. I mean, Contrave doesn't make me feel great either, but sorry, I'm yawning at this point.
At least you're not a zombie.
That's true. But I did want to throw that out there. And I threw out my back the other day, clipping my toenails.
Wow. I think the last time you clipped them was in April.
I think Marnie made me clip them before we went to Seattle.
Did she?
So maybe August would have been the last time.
You need regular toe grooming.
Well, once a quarter is what I think is fine. So 4 times a year. Marnie thinks it should be like every week. I
At
don't
least
see,
once a month.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
How?
I just,
You just are like, well, it's that time. Like, was there a certain level of what they get to?
if I could start to feel them as they stick out past my toe, I clip them.
See, I don't feel them because they kind of curl around it. And sometimes they don't. And then like I'm cutting Marnie in bed.
Yeah, that's no good.
No, but they're weapons. Take the covers. Well, guess what? Slash your Achilles off.
Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, but I threw out my back. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
Why don't you have her do it for you?
you gotta stretch. I gotta stretch out before I clip my toenails.
Like once a month, you sit down, you get a foot massage, she clips your toenails.
Golly, I'm gonna be 46 this year, Justin. In June, like this is getting old stuff. I've heard this saying before. Getting old is not for pussies or something like that.
Right.
It's true, man.
You're going to be over the hill soon.
I think I'm there.
No,
I remember
50.
when my father turned 50, and I thought, oh my God, he's so old. Or maybe that was 40. It might have been 50. I don't remember. No, I think it was 50. I just remember, holy cow, man. But my dad is old, and I'm not. I don't think I'm ever going to be old.
Well, because you're comparing yourself to your father. You have to compare yourself to Parker,
That's true.
which means you're old.
No, you just proved my point because I always talk about my friends being old because like their kids are graduated from high school. Old ass. When your kid graduates from high school, it makes you old because you have a kid that graduated from high school. And my cousin is right in this too. And she's like a year or two younger than me. I think a year younger than me. And she had 2 kids, and they're both, I think, graduating. One's maybe graduating this year, or maybe they both did. I don't know. I'm a horrible cousin. But she's old now because she has kids that went through high school. She could be a grandma. Your boy is not going to be a grandpa for anytime soon, if I even make it that long. Because I wonder sometimes, with all this.
You better quit eating all those sweets and ice cream.
I have been sort of. I have. Okay, I had some cookies yesterday at the party and then like 3-4 pieces of pizza, but it was good. I like pizza. It's good for you.
Salted caramel brownies.
Yeah, that was so good. I don't know, man. It's tough. I get home and there's a little pan of salted caramel fudge brownies. And then Marnie's like, oh, yeah, I made those tonight. Help yourself.
She just wants to keep you.
And it was so good. And I take the aluminum foil off, look in it, and you could just see the caramel. It's like liquid. So it was just like Milky Way candy bar caramel, You're just like, oh, my God. It was so good. Threw some ice cream out, some real ice cream.
Straight from Kirkland.
Yeah. Straight from Costco. That's some really good ice cream. But I've been on that Carb Smart stuff. I've been eating the hell out of that lately, but there's nothing like the real stuff. And once you get the real stuff, it's hard to go back.
Right.
It's just like addiction, man. I'm telling you, the sugar addiction stuff is real. And I don't know. I want to be there for Parker
Right.
when he comes in May. And of course I think I have a big announcement to make
What's that?
about May. Something else happening. And details will be coming soon. But I think that's a big announcement. I told you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. I can't wait.
Yeah, my mama will be proud. She'll probably cry again.
Hopefully she shows up.
Oh, no, she won't.
Are you going to invite her?
Damn it, Justin. Now she's like going to show up and follow me around. Nope, Daddy. She'll be showing baby pictures and shit. There's my son up there. Yep, look at him here. Just telling stories. This is what Corey did this time, and there's another time. I know at one point, hopefully she's deleted them, but I don't think she has. She probably could. I don't think I'm going to use them for the movie I'm making. But she has like video of me like being drunk and like stupid. Not stupid, but just like, whoa. Yeah.
I think we've all had those videos at one point in time.
Yeah, she tried to show them to Marnie. It was around our wedding, or maybe it was after our wedding, or day of, or day before, or something like that. And Marnie's like, nope. I don't want to see him that way. I never knew him that way. And that made a lot of sense. And I was kind of glad that she'd never seen him that way because there's nothing good's going to come of it. Oh, look what Corey used to do. Look what Corey used to say. Look how Corey used to be. Like, there's no point in that. Like I remember. That's good enough.
Right.
But I've never seen Marnie like that either, and I wouldn't want to either. Like, hey, watch a video of drunk Marnie. I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah, it'll change your perspective a little bit of the person. And then when they start acting a little different or whatever for unknown reasons, you're like, your mind instantly just goes there. Well, are you using?
It could be for some people. I think Marnie and I, we would know. It would be pretty obvious.
Right.
Like it's, there's no off switch for it. Like it's just on. And once it's off, you just leave it off. Like that works best. Because we know if you flip that switch on, it's not an on-air studio light.
No.
It's a destroy everything in that you've built light, and we just leave it off. Works best.
That's good.
My mom sent me a picture though before I was born, and it was of my grandma Winfield, who I don't really remember.
Okay.
I remember her house smelled funny all the time. I don't really remember much about it, but just that it smelled funny, like tomatoes, or I don't know. Maybe I was smelling alcohol. Who knows? But she died from complications of drinking. Just say that, from what I'm told. And there's a picture of my mom and her, and I guess it was like 1976, and they were somewhere on vacation or something. And my mom's, and I asked, I was like, was she drunk? Was she drinking during the trip? And my mom said she didn't drink in front of us, but we're pretty sure, like, when, okay, good night, we'd go to bed, she'd walk to the store or somewhere to get liquor, and drink. And my mom said that at that time she was 18 or whatever, and she was just thinking in her mind, like, if we can show this woman, like, there's good things out there, and she doesn't have to drink all the time. And I don't know what the scene was back then as far as like treatment, and I don't know. I really don't. I know at some point they were like putting people in like institutions and drilling in their brain and stuff, like I don't think it was like that. And I think that's why people were afraid to go to treatment. Mm-hmm. But for her, like, I don't know. I just started thinking about it, and it's sad that I didn't get to know her. And I texted my mom and I said, well, I'm just glad that Parker is never going to have to grow up seeing his mommy and daddy that way. My nephews, they've seen drinking problems, and they're 8 and 10 or 11 and 12 or something like that. Again, I'm not the best family member, it appears, with names and ages and stuff, but I'm just super glad that Parker doesn't have to see that. And I never saw that growing up. My mom, stepdad, they didn't drink. My dad, I didn't really see, but I knew he didn't drink. My stepmom, she didn't drink. So I didn't see that. I didn't see the damage alcohol had done. And people say, oh, it skips a generation, and that kind of makes sense. I think one of my uncles was a big drinker, and there's some complications he's going through with. I don't know if it's just old age or if drinking took its toll, and that's something I worry about is the 20 years of drinking, just murdering my body, the damage, it's some of it's still there, the liver will, that'll heal itself. That'll be fine. It can be for some, but the rest of the damage, it's your stomach lining, like my stomach problems, it's like how much of that's caused by alcohol, and
your kidneys.
Yeah, they seem to be okay, but again, you never know, what's really down in there. And there's a video that Marnie and I watched, and it was this guy, like, he was pretty much dissecting, and I might have had a link to it at some point. It was over the summer, I think, is when we were talking about it. But it showed like what it did to the lining of the stomach and the esophagus and the lungs even. Like, because the alcohol, like, that's how it gets. That's how they use the breathalyzer, because it gets through your blood and then it goes out through the body. So like when it gets in your lungs, that's how they tell how much you've been drinking. But of course, for someone who's been drinking 20 years, when you blow, 0.2, it's gonna have a way. You might not even feel it, as opposed to get someone who's 21 and drinking for the first time. They 0.2, they're passed out. They're like, oh my god. But like, that's why, like, people like me and probably Adam and Mitch for sure, when we go to the hospital or something, then we blow like a 0.45 something, and they're like, what? You should be dead. And it's like, no, that's how tolerance works.
Right.
But with my grandma, though, I just felt kind of sad. And then I started to feel kind of proud a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe humble's the right word. Because I was there at death's door, knocking at it, ready to cross over. Grace of God, I didn't, and I'm here today to talk about it. But I was freaking close. If I just would have went home, went to sleep, I wouldn't have woke up. That's what the doctor said.
Right.
So to be that close, but be able to turn it around. And it wasn't just like, oh, okay, I almost died, let's quit drinking, like I thought it would be. It was much more than that. It was me digging into my issues. It was me accepting help from others, going to treatment and not giving up.
Right. And actually going to treatment with an open mind and a listening ear.
Eventually, I remember the first time when I went to California, this guy who's a few years older than me, and he's just like, man, he's like, you got to get your shit together. You're a good looking guy. You're young. Like, you got it going on. Like, just get it together, man. I was like, okay, I'm trying. That's what I'm here for. But at that time, too, I wasn't really a big AA fan. And I went to my first AA meeting out in California. And it was a speaker meeting. I didn't know. So I just thought all of them were like that. And like in LA and Santa Monica, they're all actors and stuff. So it did just seem like a presentation. It seemed like it was just acting. They were trying to get their next role. And their next role, they were playing an alcoholic or a druggie. And they were up there just telling the story to make people believe it. That's the vibe I got. And then the lady's like, oh, this is the 5th time I've seen you. Oh, you get better every time. And I'm like, oh, so this is like Leonard Skinner's show? And I even said that. You know, I was like, this is like Leonard Skinner's. You know, like, this is real life stuff. Like, you shouldn't be following. I don't know. It just seemed really weird to me. So don't need AA, don't need any of that. So I threw all that to the side until later I was actually taken to a real meeting and like, oh, okay, this is more my speed. This is how it works. Okay, this is way different than what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
But it took a lot of learning, man. And it was like 3 years, you know, of hell and failure and being humble. I was a person who, I had a house, I had a good job, I had a car. And then I didn't have a house. I didn't have a good job and I didn't have a car, you know, to lose it all and to still be standing to go, okay, well, none of that stuff even really mattered anyway.
Right. And
to realize I wasn't happy in life in Arkansas, it was very, I don't want to say sobering because it did the opposite effect, but then moving back home, thinking things are going to be just the same or better just because I'm home. Yeah. And that wasn't the case either. It was just me getting into myself. And I talk about the last place I went for treatment. Okay, it could have been anywhere. You know, I could have been in any state in the country, but I had to be in the right mindset, like you said, you know, like to finally like let my guard down, willing to learn, willing to do the things that I didn't want to do, but I needed to do. And I'm not talking about dangerous stuff. You know, when I walked into treatment, it's like, what do I have to lose? I really need to figure this out. I don't want to go back to jail. What do I got to do? And I want to have fun. So let's have fun in recovery and let's learn about myself.
Right.
And sober living, you did sober living too. You didn't want to live with a bunch of dudes.
No, but it was awesome.
Yeah. And then you look back at it. And the time, though, we were there, it seemed like, oh, I can't wait to get out of here. But now looking back, it's like, I would love to go hang out there one day.
You know, honestly, if it wasn't such a far drive, when I was in need of a place, I almost debated on calling Jason, saying, hey, you know, I need to move back in.
Yeah, he would have let you if you would have had a bed.
Right. You know, just because rent's cheap and, you know, I had a job. I wouldn't be stuck at the house. I had a car and be able to go back and forth. But it's like an hour and 15-minute drive. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to make it. But it was definitely on the table of, you know, where do I want to be at again, you know? Mm-hmm. And I had a good experience. I never had a bad experience in any sober living house I stayed at, either one of them.
It's because you follow the rules, did what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know, I got kicked out of one, but it was a different experience. I wasn't there for the right reason, you know. Right. But when I went to Jason DeBeck's, Nathan's house, I was there for the right reasons, but I didn't want to be there. I would much rather just go to my own apartment and do my own thing. But I knew that wasn't working. And if I went to this house, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and they were telling me I asked them, like, hey, is so-and-so, how they doing? They're like, not good. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, this place or that place. And he's like, oh, no, he doesn't want to go there because he doesn't like this person and this and that. And I was like, man, the guy, I hated this guy. I mean, hate's a strong word, hated him. And he was at Nathan's house And I did not want to go to Nathan's house because of him. And I was like, nope, I'll go somewhere in Traverse City. And then that guy I talked to was kind of asking dumb questions. So I was like, never mind. At least I know my people that I went through treatment with are at Nathan's house. And at least I know I don't like that guy.
Right.
You know, I knew the rest of the people pretty much. So I'm like, all right, let me just go there. So I did. And then my bed right next to the dude I hate. Right next to it, dude. And I'm like, Lord, is this funny? And I was like, please don't give me, because we all had to chore. I'm like, please don't give me bathrooms. And I'm sleeping next to the dude I hate. Wonderful.
I bet you clean a pretty good bathroom, though.
Oh, man. Once you get into it, and I love throwing people's stuff away, because there's a rule. Take your stuff in the bathroom, you take it out of the bathroom.
Yes, there is.
Some people just couldn't figure that out. So I used to love throwing stuff away, and then people are like, where's my soap? Where's my loofah? I'm like, trash. And I took the trash out. I didn't just throw it in the trash and leave. No, the trash was taken out. So that was a lot of fun for me. And I got to appreciate it. And later on, and I'm sure I did an episode about this, when Marnie was at work one day, I cleaned her bathroom because we had separate bathrooms.
Right.
And she appreciated it. And I just started cleaning her bathroom. And it was so much easier cleaning her bathroom than a bunch of dudes, you know? Like, it was nice cleaning up after my wife. And, you know, I think I texted Jason and told him, you know, thanks for what you do. And thanks for giving me this opportunity to clean my wife's bathroom and like it.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't wanting anything from it. I just knew that it would make her happy to have a clean bathroom. Mm-hmm. You know, and doing stuff for other people is what makes you feel good inside.
Yes, it does.
Now, there were some benefits, of course, you know, just from being a good husband, but no, it's back to the grandma thing, though. It's humbling, proud, but whatever it is, to be able to make it through there, to almost die, and then still come out the other side and be able to live and be able to help other people.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, wow, I'm the Winfield who made it, you know, because my grandma didn't. And I don't know how far down the line things had went. You know, my grandma Winfield, she, I think, was the firstborn here. I think the rest came from Russia.
Wow.
Germany is, I think the Winfields came from that. So I don't know, man. Like, I like to track my ancestry. And, you know, oh, hey, sister that I didn't know.
Right.
That's always a fun one.
I bet.
Yeah, I haven't really talked about that too much.
You know, I remember being 17 and my grandma told me about her demons and fighting with alcoholism and onto other things. And she told me when I was 17, just having that beer stashed outside in the snowbank wasn't a good idea. Me sitting at my grandfather's desk in my grandmother's house rolling up joints after he went to bed because he frowned upon me smoking weed. She told me one night, she goes, Justin, you're going to go down a very dark road and I don't want to see you go down it. And I didn't even know at the time what she was even really talking about, you know. I didn't know nothing about addiction. I knew my mom struggled with drinking through my whole childhood. So, I mean, I guess that's what she was talking about, but I never view myself having a problem with a drink at all, which most of us don't in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But then it got worse and worse and worse, and eventually that she ended up passing away, and I just continued to use and use and use. And now in my mom's house, there's because we have my grandmother cremated, so we have her ashes set up on a shelf for like a little memory shelf, and there's a coffee cup up there that she got my mom, and I put all my AA coins in there. Now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet your mom likes that. I mean, but you're not doing it for your mom either, really.
No.
I'd say you're doing it for your grandma and just the family, just everybody.
Right.
You know, people that walk by and they see that. You know, I don't know how many people are walking by your mom's or going into your mom's house or nothing, but people that do, family members, whatever, like they see that and they know, okay, that there's someone out there that's doing it. There's someone out there that did it, you know, and still doing it.
Yeah, I told my mom this past weekend I'd like to get her a clock where I could put all my AA coins in there for the numbers.
We should get Jill to make you one.
Yeah.
Like the 217 clock she made us.
That'd be awesome.
That's pretty sweet. Put our 217 coin in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty awesome too. Yeah, I said 217 coin. Yep.
Yeah.
Got those. Those are official. Well, I think that'll wrap up today's podcast down memory lane, but it does feel good to be on this side of it. And no matter how long you've been sober, if you go back out, just, and I don't know how many people listen to this that are back out, probably not very many. But if you know a family member or a friend, who's struggling, don't judge them. Just be thankful that they reach out for help again, and even chasing them down to be like, "Hey, man, I heard you're drinking. I heard you're using." I don't know if that's the best approach either. I just kind of sit back and wait for people to hit me up,
Right.
and they do, and I don't judge them, and I'm proud of them actually. It's hard, to pick yourself up and go, okay. And heroin might be your thing or whatever, opiates. And then you beat that and you're like, all right, cool. Well, alcohol wasn't my thing. I don't have a problem with that. I can drink. And then before you know it, you're shaking because you need some alcohol.
Right.
And you're like, oh shit, what just happened? Alcohol wasn't my thing, but now I'm addicted to it.
Exactly.
I need help, but I can't admit it. That's a tough one, but you can, and it's going to be okay. And there's actually something I was going to share with you here. It was the reports from 2022 of emergency rooms. And it has the top substances. I was wanting to see if you wanted to play a game. Would you like to play a game, Justin?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Let me tie you up. Okay, so what would you think is the number one substance people visiting emergency departments?
I want to say alcohol, but I think methamphetamine psychosis would just about take it nowadays.
Final answer.
Yes.
In America,
In America.
you would say methamphetamine.
Psychosis.
That's wrong. First of all, the rate of drug-related visits was highest between people 26 to 44.
Okay.
Okay. And of the country of America, the highest percentage of drug-related emergency department visits at 45%. Alcohol.
See, I said alcohol.
You did.
But in today's society, I'd almost rather say methamphetamine psychosis because there's a lot of people that just lose their shit.
Well, then that's great that you bring that up because there's kind of a twist to this.
Okay.
Because along the whole country, everything's pretty much alcohol, around 45%. And that's why the average of the whole is around there, a little bit higher. But the East Coast, alcohol was even higher than 45%. And on the West Coast, methamphetamine was the number one. So out in Seattle, Oregon, California, that's what people were visiting the emergency department for. Now, between the ages of 18 to 25, what do you think the highest related emergency department visit was? Okay,
Alcohol?
No.
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 Opiates?
No.
Meth?
No.
I don't know.
Benzos?
Really?
No.
Oh.
Cannabis.
Cannabis? Mm-hmm. We ate too many gummies, so I think I'm going to die?
I don't know.
Like, you go to sleep.
And males, and every drug, males had the most over females. They had a higher drug-related ED visit, except for benzos. That was pretty much the same. Males and females both. It says Black or African American individuals had higher rates of drug-related visits than all other racial groups for alcohol, cannabis, and cocaine. And they had similar rates to white individuals for opiate and benzos. Regional rates were similar for all drug categories except alcohol-related visits were highest in the Northeast and, I already told you that, meth for the West. Non-Hispanic or Latino individuals had higher rates than Hispanic or Latino individuals for all substances. Okay, but it goes alcohol, 45%, opiates, 12.7, which is like a 5.6 and a 5, and then a 2.7 for fentanyl. But cannabis was 11.9%.
Dang.
Yeah, and then there was like a little chart here that it went down. Alcohol, opiates, cannabis, meth, cocaine, drug unknown, benzo, antidepressant, and then it gets smaller. But that's some facts from SAMHSA. And this was sent to me by a buddy. And it's got tons and tons and tons of stuff in it. Like, you can read this for days. But I just wanted to play that game with you, Justin.
So at least I was.
You'd have
on
been
the
dead if we were
fence.
playing Saw. We should make that game. Just make it.
Saw?
Want to play a game? Put your finger in here. Want to play another game? Pull my finger.
Don't pull Mitch's finger.
Oh, jeez.
Or mine.
Yeah, we'll have to get Mitch on here in a couple days, see how he's doing. He
Yeah.
said,
After his hot sauce incident.
well, that and just life.
Oh, yeah, life.
Mitch was like, that's a Mitch. Welcome to a Mitch day in Mitchell's life. He's wearing a Superman shirt today, so I'm proud of him for that. But
Yep.
anyway, you have a meeting to run, and I have a wife to go see, so
Yeah.
we are done. Thanks for listening. 217recovery.com. You need more neat resources. You need a recovery coach. You could be anywhere in the state, anywhere in the world, and we'll call you back and make that happen, whatever you need. So 217recovery.com for more info, and we'll talk to you later.
Later.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. We hope you come back for our next episode.